Here's your host, Chelsea Edwards.
Welcome to another episode of Chattin With Chelsea. I'm your daytime bestie, Chelsea Edwards. Today's show is all about the mental health conversations that we just don't have enough. Unspoken trauma. It not only affects men, but the women and the families who love them. So we are chatting about that with the creator and star of the powerful stage play, Black Boys Cry. And we got to get into Gen Z and burnout, because what may look like laziness to employers could actually be a mental health struggle in silence. Check out this TEDx talker who gets into it.
We all know that burnout deals with too much stress. And we think that if we can manage the stress, that we can prevent burnout. And while to some extent that is true, that is not the full picture. Because you see, burnout is not only about stress, it's also about not having enough support.
All right, here to get into it, we've got Dr. Amber Gunner, people and performance consultant. Thank you for bringing some light to this, because, you know, I'll admit, a lot of us give Gen Z a hard time.
Hard time.
Yes, a hard time. And we were seeing these headlines about them getting fired so quickly, not lasting in the workplace, maybe a few weeks, at best a few months. But you're saying it's not just about these behaviors that employers are labeling as lazy or difficult. There's some mental health things going on, including burnout.
Absolutely. And I think as an educator first, I've had the experience of working with students and seeing the full picture of things with the school, with parents, with all of these that play a role when the employees arrive into the workplace. So as they get there, if there are things that universities have not really prepared them with, such as like email etiquette is one of the things that I hear leaders talking about a lot in the workplace. If there are certain things that they haven't been prepared with, by the time they get there, they are much trying to figure it out just like the rest of us. And a lot of what I want to bring forth into the conversation is that they are experiencing a financial crisis much like we all are, right? And having that being taken into consideration, because for one of the first times, there is not a blueprint that truly works to ensure that you can buy a house at 25 and buy a car and go on vacation. So a lot of the number one thing that they are dealing with is the financial stress.
Okay, so that's something to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
And then you mentioned not being prepared for the workplace. Where's the lack? You talked about the universities, but I feel like maybe some of it should have come from the parents or the teachers. Even in high school, I felt like I was better prepared.
It should have, right? It should have. And the thing I want people to realize most is here we are now. And so what is it that each of us wants to be responsible for in supporting them? Because we are going to get older and retire at some point. And so if we have these complaints now, and educators talk about it all the time, what's going to happen with the generation Gen Alpha that comes after them? So I want us to start recognizing that it's not a means of just trying to coddle or enable this generation, but to have some empathy and understand what all they are navigating. You know, I think about often, we're both moms. Could you imagine when we had our babies, if people were like, you should be able to figure this out? They didn't teach you how to do that? You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm already going through so much with being in a new environment. Can somebody please take me under their wing and help me in figuring this out? And mentorship is one of those other things that really they are needing, because as they're on the job and they're trying to do things right, and they maybe don't want to bring some issues up to their leaders or their managers, they'll go and talk to their peers. Well, their peers are new as well.
Just as clueless.
So we've got, we've got this loop happening to where it's taking them longer to get the work done, which is playing into some of that mental exhaustion that they are experiencing. And then imagine they bring it to you, you tell them that it's wrong, but they didn't have it clear from the beginning of what was truly needed in order to be successful in this.
Yeah, that could be really disheartening.
It is.
And so I could see the tie into the burnout.
Absolutely.
What other symptoms are you seeing when it comes to leading up to that?
Well, like we talked about, the financial issues are really big. People think that because they are digital natives that they are better with technology, but they also experience the same overwhelm and exhaustion by it as we do.
Because it's all day, every day.
All day.
Okay.
And they know that they are new, so they want to do the best that they can. They want to impress their bosses and other people, so they may be more likely to answer those emails or those team messages when they really should be taking a break for themselves.
Got it.
So they're balancing that as well. A lot of us didn't necessarily have that when we entered into the workplace, that we are still trying to figure out now of how to be able to put our phones down.
So even though they were raised with it, they still have to figure out
the boundaries
as well. Ugh.
But they fear doing so. And actually, I did a study with some Gen Zers, and over 40% said that I'm still not clear on how to do my role in a way that's not going to burn me out.
Oh, okay. Well, then we need some help with that. Okay. All right, Dr. Gunner, we are going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with how we can get Gen Z, up that performance review. Okay. We'll be right back after this.
Come back to me.
Welcome back. 58% of Gen Z workers say they are burnt out, and their employers are saying, y'all just don't want to work. So here to get to the bottom of it, Dr. Amber Gunner, we've been talking about this really appearing as a burnout, and there being a lot of mental health things going on behind it.
Absolutely.
So when a younger employee shows up in a hoodie and not dressed appropriately, you're saying it's not just that, we got to dig deeper.
Well, we have to dig deeper, but when we look at professionalism, some of them truly don't understand, well, why do I have to conform, and why is this an expectation? So I think you have to take it back to educating them on the standard and what's expected, because professionalism is a norm that we have all agreed upon, right?
Right.
And we know that how we are dressed, it really plays into how we initially trust and respect and listen to a person. So it's beyond just wanting to be able to show up authentically. And I think one of the things is that people assume that, okay, if they have something going on with their mental health, then I can't hold them accountable. And those are not the same. I can still let you know what the standard is and what we expect in this workplace. I can also coach and support you in that and hold true to that.
So we can actually have some solutions that don't automatically jump to you're fired.
And I think that was more of the point. I'm hoping that in that article they did give some training, but a lot of the things that they cited, communication, professionalism, all of those things can be taught. We can teach the employees how to do that. And often we get stuck in whose job is it to do it?
That was going to be my question. Whose job is it?
All of ours.
So it's up to us, even if this is your little nephew or whoever.
Exactly.
Relatives, friends, employers as well. So let me ask you this, because since this, it is hard for a lot of us to look at the younger generation and say, why can't you just get with the program?
Exactly.
How do we get them with the program?
Get them with the program. And with anything, right? If I show you that I care and that I'm willing to take the time to help you in your growth, then you are going to be more receptive to that. And so one of the first things when I ask leaders is, okay, do you know what their 5-year goals are within this workplace? Because we know that Gen Z is really passionate about doing work with purpose. And so if I can identify what matters to you, I can make sure that I help in aligning that so that you feel like you have a reason to come and do your best work every day.
That is huge. So not just coming from the judgment zone. I really care about your future plan, and they might be more receptive.
They will be. They certainly will be. And I think the other thing is mentorship. And leaders will say, well, HR hasn't put together a formal It doesn't have to be formal. As the leader, you know another employee that you could pair them with so that if they had questions as they're working on a project, they could go to that person. And one, it's going to relieve some load off of you as the leader because they're not coming to you and asking every little question, but they have a source that's going to give them the information that they need, and they're not stuck in their heads attempting to figure it out, further causing that exhaustion. I found in the study that by the end of the workday, much like us all, they are feeling incredibly exhausted. And a lot of it is having to do with not having that clarity of what's expected of them and not knowing who to be able to talk to get adequate support.
So we're not just dismissing this as you acting tired, but how can you be tired when you're young? Get with it.
Yes.
Instead of that, we're actually talking about future plans, talking about how we can get them to understand the different things that they need to do to show up in the workplace.
And have mentorship. And then also last I would say is training.
Okay.
And it's not putting them in front of a computer screen, right? But we do need engaging training to come into the workplace, figure out exactly what's going on, and then have those open conversations truly on both sides to be able to figure out where the gap in the knowledge is and then formalize the training process around that. One that's going to give them connection with peers, but it's also going to set some standards for all of us. I think sometimes as leaders, we haven't had a true standard in place that we abide by and that we require of everyone.
Okay.
So we've got our work to do.
Yeah, you pointed back at us, right? Okay. Got it.
Yes.
So if there is a Gen Z or a young person watching and they can acknowledge that they are having some struggles with their mental health when it comes to work.
Absolutely.
What is your advice for getting on that right path and maybe starting to understand the dynamics of their workplace?
I would first say they need to recognize what their burnout signs are and identify their top 3.
Okay.
I want you to know what it feels like for you so that as that starts coming on, you can start doing the things that are going to be helpful in terms of prevention.
So what are some typical signs that you see that may be in that top 3?
So for sure it's going to be that exhaustion, that mental exhaustion that is prolonged over time. And then when they start feeling themselves getting disconnected from the work, they may show up and do the work, but you can tell that the interest level has changed in how they are performing that work. They may have some constant negativity around the work that they're doing. They may also feel like, I want to escape, I'm ready to quit and just be done with this. And so I think that's one thing. And also, we know that working is a change for everyone. So it is going to require some mental resilience, but I do want them to be aware of when this has gone on too long that I'm feeling like I'm at my breaking point.
Yes. All right. So everybody's got to come together on this thing so that we can make it work.
We absolutely do. And I think if each person can figure out one thing they can help to be part of the solution, it doesn't have to be overwhelming, and we don't have to keep having this mutual blame, is what I call it, without any true solutions.
Well, thank you for bringing some real solutions to us. Keep those babies in their jobs. Right?
Yes. We're going to need them. They're going to be taking care of us.
Exactly.
You want to know that they know what they're doing.
Exactly. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a stage play that is sparking conversations around the roles women play in men's mental health. You don't want to miss it. Be right back.
Come back to me.
I'll be the man I was called to be, determined by no one else but me. Everything that I was mad at, it just took control of that moment.
That was Black Boys Cry, a powerful stage play that follows 7 Black men as they confront trauma and triggers and talk about brotherhood as well.
Exactly.
Thank you for coming on the show. We have got the writer, director, and producer, Harold J. Trotter.
There we go.
Okay, of 1989 Dreams Productions. And then we've got Taylor L. Gitwood, who stars in it. I love how y'all make sure y'all put the middle in there.
Get that in there.
Gotta have it in there. That's
Don't
star
Google
power
the wrong
right
person.
there. Yeah. I love it.
I'm my grandfather's namesake, so
Okay, you gotta carry
Gotta
that
keep it.
legacy and doing well. I really loved what I saw from this play. So Harold, let's start with why you decided to write this.
I believe greatly in telling stories that reflect the world we live in, right? And so many times black men in urban stories get painted as the villain. We get painted as the abuser, the drug beater, or the cheater, right? So I just want to tell a fun story that showed black men in a different light while also sparking conversations.
Yeah, I mean, there's some seriousness to it, but there are also a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
I mean, Taylor, that had to feel good to be able to really show really be well-rounded as a character.
For sure. So I'm the youngest of the cast. I'm 23. So this show is really giving me an opportunity to spark conversations that I never really considered either. As you mentioned in the beginning, it is a conversation and a show that is sparked around trauma, tragedy, but also brotherhood. We as black people, as black men, are not subject to just fit into one space. We're all different, and we all come with different mentalities, different positions, different thought processes, but also different walks of life. And we're able to show how those walks of life can all walk together, but also still be that individual person. And so it gives us an opportunity to really talk about so many different things. There has not been a show yet that we have not had someone come up to us and say, I identify with your character. I've not had a single beautiful lady come up to me and say, I saw my son in you, my nephew, or even my husband in you. So it gives us a chance to really have those conversations, but in a way that is feasible for people to see life from a different perspective.
Yeah, like you said, those characters, they run the gamut. You got a lot of different backgrounds, and there's still a common thread of the mental health needing to be addressed. So you mentioned the women who talk about this show afterwards. What has that response been when it comes to opening up those conversations?
So I'll let Doreen go first.
Women, I always say this, the show is not just for men, right? It's for women, for the man you love, the man you're raising, and the man you love to hate, right? Because you get
Even
to see,
him.
even him is in there, right?
Even him.
You know, without giving away too much of the show, one lady came to us recently in Phoenix, Arizona, and she had tears in her eyes, and she told me she was a victim of abuse. And she said, never in my life had I thought of what he went through before he did that to me. And she said, I'm not excusing it, but it does give me a different perspective, right? So I think that the show touches people in so many different layers and so many different ways that you start to see one of the lines in the show is, it's not an excuse, it's not a justification why, it's my hope, my prayer, it's my black boy's cry. And people automatically associate the show with tears, but it's not a tear. We're talking about our outward cry, the cry that I can't talk about when I'm not in a safe space. So it's his outward cry, not necessarily the tears coming down his eyes.
And it's a teachable experience. You know, it's really an opportunity to showcase how to love that black man, how to understand him. It gives us an opportunity also for us as black men to teach ourselves how to express ourselves when we're experiencing different emotions that we probably have not been taught to articulate, or things that we have been taught to suppress in order to really move forward for the betterment. But also too, I have to be honest with you, Chelsea, without giving too much of the show. We do have some parts in there that the women are just going to automatically love. You know, you got to come to the show to come see that. Because we do a little 1-2 pop zoom, you know, for the ladies. Some vocals, some dancing in there. A little you know, some everything.
All right, bring the dollars. Okay.
Yeah, bring the dollars for sure when you see me. You know.
Good to hear. Because I think some women may see the description of the play and get concerned that they might be attacked based on the script or blamed for some of the issues that these men have. But it's more of a conversation about how we can support.
I hope y'all don't think that, women. No, you really get to get into the inside. Like, the root of a lot of problems is guys trying to please or get approval from another guy. Whether it's his dad, his friends, his peers, his co-workers, whatever the case may be. So women are not the problem here at all. We talk about how we can support you all, and you know, the best way to support you all is by being the best version of us.
What do you hope people take away from this start with you. Well,
You need me to
Taylor, let
remind
me
you?
start with you. Yeah.
One of the things I really hope that people will take from this is definitely an opportunity for us to have the conversations that have not been had. I think when we look around and look at our world today, as I was just saying in the back, the best way to predict the future is to create it. And this gives us an opportunity to create a great trajectory moving forward of coming together, no matter the race, the gender, or the creed, but understanding that we are humans, and as humans we go through things. And I would hope that this would be something that people would bring their children, their husbands, their boo things, even the side piece if you got one.
Yeah.
Come to the show because it's definitely a show that needs to be talked about. This is a passion project. This is something that I can truly say that God has had his hand on. Otherwise we wouldn't be here 3 years later. Otherwise it wouldn't be a story that needs to be told. It's a story for a reason, and the only way we're going to get this out is the people come and support it.
Oh, Harold.
How can I follow that? Thank you. Wrap it up. I'm gonna buy a ticket now. All of a sudden.
Sold everybody.
Well, I think for me, it's really about impact. I appreciate people coming, yes, buy the tickets and so on, but it's really about what you do when you leave there. I think about Las Vegas. We went, a guy came to the show and he came to us again with tears in his eyes afterwards. And that guy told us, he said, man, I was thinking about killing myself. We met him at Chipotle.
Wow.
And invited him to the show last minute. We didn't think he was coming, and he came. He said, I was thinking about killing myself. He said, God had me to come to this show and see this. So I think it's more, for me, it's about the impact that we leave, first amongst our brothers and then amongst the women who love us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Where can people get the tickets and find out when you're in their city?
So we're going to be on 1989. That's 1989 Dreams, DREAMS.com/Black Boys Cry. Go there for all things 1989 Dreams.
Yes. Well, we cannot wait to see what you do next. Keep that impact going across the country. And check out Black Boys Cry. We'll be right back after this.
I've got the feeling. Come back to me.
Thank you for watching this episode of Chattin' with Chelsea. Thank you to Dr. Gunner. Thank you from Black Boys Cry. You guys watch this on our YouTube. Like it over there, Chattin' with Chelsea. Keep up with us on social at Chelsea Fox 26, and we'll see you on the next episode of Chattin' with Chelsea.